Space Jam. Y'all are losing it this much over Space Jam. Really? Fine then. Let's talk Space Jam. As of recording this, and it is just past 5:30 on July 21st, 2021, Space Jam 2 is underperforming at the worldwide box office and is massively underperforming with the critics. With the box office, there's a lot of stuff that you can say. Maybe it's HBO Max. I don't think we're going to get a clear answer, and we've got a few weeks to actually see what the box office is going to be. So let's just put that to the side. Critically, all over the internet, people are saying, hey, it's a kid's movie. Leave it alone. They're saying that the first one was also bad, so what did you expect? And then also that Warner Brothers is just shamelessly plugging everything that's in their library, so we should think that it's some evil corporate overlord thingy, and we should burn it with fire. So, are those valid? Let's dive into it. First of all, the phrase, it's just a kid's movie. Hey, it's a kid's movie. Hey, it's a kid's movie. Back off. When did that idea start, that you can't talk critically about a kid's movie? Yes, I get that kids' movies are pacifiers a lot of the time, and if Coco Milan is going to shut your kid up, then that thing's going to be on full rotation on any screen in the house. I'm saying that we're still dealing with stories, and it's not very controversial to say that The Lion King is a few miles ahead of the Emoji Movie. Don't turn your brain off, and out of respect for everyone that worked on James and the Giant Peach, Spirited Away, Kung Fu Panda, Winnie the Pooh, Rango, Frozen, Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Iron Giant, Nightmare Before Christmas, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, The Illusionist, and pretty much everything made by Pixar. Can we give up on the BS argument that we can't talk critically about a kid's movie? Thank you. Okay, let's go on to point number 2. The first Space Jam was bad. So I went back and I watched the first Space Jam last week for you people, because I guess we can't talk about the second one unless you kind of have a metric for the first one. And yes, the first one is bad. And while Space Jam 1 is bad, Space Jam 2 is Razzie bad. This is a movie like Cats. When you see it, you know this is going to be on every top 5 worst movies of the year list. And since it seems like the only way people want to break down Space Jam 2 is to talk about Space Jam 1, let's look at the two of them. The first Space Jam is just under an hour and a half. Space Jam 2 is 2 hours long, okay? The Looney Tunes in Space Jam 1 show up 7 minutes into the movie. In Space Jam 2, it takes 27 minutes before a Looney Tune shows up. In the first movie, the villains have a real sense of danger. The villains were scary and threatening in a way that a kid finds entertaining, and it's actually even entertaining whenever you see it as an adult. Don Cheadle as the villain, and even his sidekick, Pete? There's nothing threatening at all about it. The one time he does become slightly threatening, he becomes Dwayne Johnson from The Scorpion King. In the original Space Jam movie, stuff that's happening is actually funny from time to time. I mean, you've got Bill Murray, Wayne Knight, all the basketball players in the first Space Jam movie. There's actually a story going on there that is funny, so it's entertaining. Like, the first Space Jam might not be great, but there's actually things going on all throughout the movie that's like, oh, we get a little bit of excitement here and there and here and there. The second one drags on for so long, it doesn't make sense why any of this stuff is actually happening. In this movie, they act as if the Looney Tunes are completely unknown by most people. The Looney Tunes show up here as pretty much cameos, the way everything else shows up. Which goes on to the third thing that everyone is complaining about, which is, the Warner Brothers. These shameless plugs. You're just plugging all of your properties. I don't care if the Warner Brothers wants to make a whole series of Space Jam movies where they plug every movie that they've ever worked on, but it's got to be funny. In a world wherever the Lego Movie is one of the funniest movies out there, I don't care if you put a product at the center of a great movie. Who cares? Just do a good story, make the movie good, make it funny. Who cares, okay? The problem is that this sucks. And in some ways, yeah, it is misguided, because if you think that kids today are not connected with the Looney Tunes, how are they connected to The Matrix, Austin Powers, Mad Max, Clockwork Orange, It, Game of Thrones? Like, that's such a boring way to try, I guess, win over parents that are going to end up watching this. That, and the wardrobe that they put these people in is absolutely terrible. The first Space Jam was not great, but you can watch it and you can say, okay, this is a kid's movie that's got some entertaining stuff in here, some good jokes. This movie, Space Jam 2, A New Legacy, is so misguided in terms of who is actually going to watch this thing. Space Jam 2, phenomenally terrible. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please be sure to subscribe to 5 Minute Critic for future updates on reviews and movie news.